the end of the day, selling is transferring a feeling. If you don't have the feeling, you can't transfer it. If you don't have a good, positive feeling, dude, you're an actor. You have to sell and run your business from a place of positivity. And however you get there, God bless you. Welcome to episode 64. I can't believe how fast this is going. We have our famous guests, David Tenuta and Steve Karns from Bedding Industries of America, and we are going to do a preview of the open house in Columbus, as well as the show in High Point, which is 2 weeks out. So before we get started, let's pay the bills really quick. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? Everybody knows if you want to sell $1 million or more, with have fun with it. Well, I think I lost you guys. And thank you to Steve at Mattress Industry Network.
Hello.
Pete, you're unmuted. Unmute your mic.
Okay. Mattress Industry Network is a group for everybody in the mattress industry, by mattress retailers. And if you own a store and you do not belong to this group, you need to join right away. Over 1,100, probably 1,200 by now, members strong. If you want to build, market, and succeed in the mattress industry, join the Mattress Industry Network group today on Facebook. It's 100% free. Sorry for those technical problems. Welcome, David, and welcome, Steve. How are you?
We are good. Tired, running, and the race is on.
Yes, good morning or good afternoon.
Awesome.
We Dave and I had a very...
I want to ask you, David.
Yes.
A what?
Yes.
You had a very what? I couldn't hear you.
We had a busy week last week. We were at the ISPA show, both of us.
Ah, how was that?
Busy.
Very good. You know, it's been 4 years since we had the world show of bedding people from all over the world. And it was great to see people again. But yeah, very good.
It was pretty well attended. You know, just about all of the big suppliers were there, all the machinery suppliers, foam suppliers, ticking suppliers. You know, we did a lot of shopping while we were there.
Good. David, how did you come up with this idea for this Hemingway collection? The responses that I am getting from retailers is just incredible.
Well, when I came to the company 5 years ago, Stuart had the license to make Hemingway with the Hemingway family. And I believe he mainly acquired that because they were the private label line or brand label for Thomasville stores. 350 Thomasville stores before they went bye-bye, Pete. 34% of the total Thomasville business was Hemingway mattresses, Hemingway chairs, lamps, bedroom sets. It was so when Mr. Karns took it on, he had a nice account base, but as we know, Thomasville went bye-bye 3-4 years ago. So when I came here, I was very interested in Hemingway because we made it when I was with Heirloom on the West Coast. And I thought the name was fabulous. So it took us a while to really We knew the name was good. We know the last 3-4 years, the name's getting bigger and bigger. 23 top companies, from hardwood floors to fishing equipment to wineries. The grandchildren are doing a great job, and we deal right with the family. Everything we design, website, logos has to be approved by the family. This is very, very religious. And we did a soft launch about 3-4 years ago, and it really wasn't right. So we really took it off the mark, Pete, for a year and a half. And I said, we have to do this right. Bedding Industries of America is a licensor. We own now 3 factories, and we have 8 other licensees. What we wanted to do is get everybody on board with enthusiasm. Our own factories, of course, which is now Chicago, Los Angeles, and New Jersey, but the other licensees across the United States. They all dived in enthusiastically. But I had to do a couple things. For 1 year, we had to take vintage of Hemingway and make it modern. I think I said it on the last show. We couldn't market to my age group. We had to market to the younger audience. And with the Ken Burns documentary that's up for 3 Emmys, the name's getting bigger and bigger.
That was the key. I mean, David and I had talked quite a bit about Hemingway and how we had it positioned in the marketplace. And we took our ideas to Stuart, and we said, we can't just put it at the upper end.
No.
We need to get it to the millennial population base. We got to keep it modern. We need it to have a outstanding look that will stand above our competition. We had needed the win on the retailer's floor, and that was really, really important. And Dave needs a backup here.
Well, Pete, I used to be a salesman before I screwed up my territories and I got in management. But I'm having a big kickoff meeting with the licensees tomorrow on a Zoom cast. And Karns, you like this. I took this from you. It's the 5 Bs. The 5 Bs. We had to be a best brand. In a total store, it ranks number 1 or number 2 of everything in the store. Forget the mattress business.
Why is it ranked number 1 or number 2? And that's because
familiarity.
70 million hits a year.
70 million
organic hits
Google searches a
on
year.
Hemingway. So it gives us a great tie back.
So here's what I had to do. And it wasn't overnight. Steve helped me. This person helped me. Retailers helped me.
Our team came to bat.
We had to have a best brand. We had to have the best specifications. We had to have the best designs look. We had to be the best value, $7.99 to $24.99. We had to have a best warranty, better warranty. And as you know, Pete, we launched it off in Vegas. I was nervous as hell. After Vegas, our yardage from the fabrics we buy, the BCI cottons, all from Belgium, went 5 times more my expectations. At the end of the year, we'll have 500 minimum doors in the United States selling Hemingway enthusiastically. I've never seen this. This is my 42nd year. I haven't seen this in 20 years of my life. It's amazing. Our first store, we're just launching it now to stores 2 weeks from now, but the first store we have here locally, Mattress Factory, put them on the floor prematurely. And here's a store that notoriously doesn't sell that much, over $2,000. Boom, 6 beds, average retail invoice over $2,000. Boom. So all indications, the presentation, the look, the feel, the specs, the sales and education, our sales training that Steve and I are in a upbeat. It's all the things you got to do, man. It's all the things you got to do. And guess what? You make a comment before this show on air, is Tenuta, this might be your big hurrah or whatever. Well, you know something? I look at it that. And also I have to look at a couple things. How do I make the licensees successful? We owe things to the retailer. And we forget that the retailer signs our paycheck. And most of our reps nowadays, and this is common, Pete, and you're one of them, are multi-line reps that carry 2 or 3 or 4 things. And how do we take the reps enthusiastically to get involved with it and look at it as a whole company, My love and my background has always been the movies and acting. And I was thinking about how do we take this line and take the rep who has other things in their bag and make them enthusiastic about it. You know, Al Pacino is great, but Al Pacino plays Al Pacino. Dustin Hoffman's great, De Niro's great, but they play who they are. Probably the greatest actor in cinema is Cary Grant. If you look at Cary Grant's top 10 films from, okay, I don't care if it's North by Northwest, okay, Monkey Business, Arsenic and No Lace, he plays a whole different persona. From villain to comedic person to a romantic man. So, Pete, what you have to do as a very good multi-line salesman, you got to change faces to make it your own company. And because it's going to make the retailer more excited. So it's everything is going to make it important. The presentation, the sales training, the product, devotion, awards. So again, it's nice to be excited. And people, and your eyes don't lie. They really don't. How many things did you carry in your bag? My God, our BIA salesmen that are not multi-line reps are multi-line reps because they have 7 brands. They probably only sell successfully 3 out of the 7. How do we get them jazzed? And I'm telling you right now, they're all jazzed.
As you can tell, Mr. Tenuta is very jazzed too. But to me, it's about a whole bunch of things that need to stack up. We have 2 different quality levels in the Hemingway line. The Inspired collection, it's for the 50 and 60-year-olds with the higher income. Those beds are a double stacked pocketed coil, latex, wool, Belgium silk damasks. I mean, these beds are as beautiful as they get to that niche. But I think even more importantly, we came out with the Adventure series, which is, I call it the Nautical Line, with the stripes and in the BCI cottons. And again, we carried a lot of those same features over. But when you look pound for pound, spec for spec, and you see you got a beautiful bed that stands off at the retail, on the retail floor, and then you look at what's in those beds, it's a home run all day long.
Yeah, but we also help the retailer. You don't have to have 11 beds. How many times do big companies come and say, we'll do this for you if you have 11 beds on the floor? More is not better. We're opening major accounts with 4 and 5 beds that will do more than 7 or 10 beds on the floor. So again, we're sensitive to real estate, and every bed's got to be successful on their own. I think we did it.
We still look turns. Turns are what's most important, and it always has been and always will be. And I think at every price level, I think we have super value driven products, which comes right from Stuart's mouth. It better be better than anything else at that price point, or it's not going to work. And the reason it doesn't work is that you don't get the turns off of it. So with our entire team working on this and making it happen, it really came together just like perfectly at the right time. We're coming out of COVID. We needed something fresh. We needed something exciting. And that's exactly what we're delivering.
Every inch, Pete. Look at this, Pete. Even the warranty card is going to look great. Who spends money on warranty cards? We're spending money on packaging, point of purchase. Everything, every inch is going to be quality.
So let me chime in there, Dave.
Do you get a chance, Pete?
I'm sorry. Pete.
No,
Hey,
I
Pete,
love
one question,
I love the
Pete.
passion, dude.
Primeau.
I love it.
I didn't ask you this. Primeau, is that your real name?
No, it's a stage name.
Okay, that's okay.
So I've been at this 40 years. I'm the youngster in this group.
Yep.
We got over 120 years here right now.
Yeah.
So I have said this to several dealers, and my dealers all know that I don't say things unless I mean them. This is the most excited I've ever been of any mattress line in my entire career. And I have been really lucky and very, very blessed. But this is something special. When you show this to a top 100 and they have never looked twice at anything before, and they're like, okay, let's keep digging in and let's keep looking at this, and this is something we're interested in. You know, we have dealers that have never come to an open house in the last 20 years coming to this open house because of the pictures that I've shown them. And your eyes don't lie, but your back doesn't lie, and the spec story doesn't lie, and the value proposition doesn't lie, and helping retailers sell better beds, that doesn't lie. So I'm so excited, Dave, that when I get done with my open house on March 31st, I'm driving to High Point, North Carolina to wait on more customers at the Crown Mark building where you guys are showing.
That's right.
That's how jazzed up I am. I'm not sleeping. I'm getting in the car and I'm driving directly to High Point. And I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If I'm still busy on Monday, I'll be there Monday too.
Yep.
We'll be there.
I'll be doing the same journey with you.
Yes, you are. And thank you. By the way, we have been so lucky and so blessed. You know, Wednesday's about closed out. So if you are a customer of mine and you have not scheduled your appointment with me at the open house, reach out to me right away, 419-560-3169. Do that right away because Wednesday's about closed and Thursday's closing fast. Here's the deal. Because Steve Karns is just the kind of guy he is, and Dave as well, they are coming to the show to help with overflow. So if you don't have an appointment, come anyway. I don't want anyone not to come because my schedule's closed out and I can't personally work with you. You have the founder of Hemingway, and you have basically you're going to have 120 years of experience between the three of us at the open house to help you.
Hey, is this the city that has the spaghetti with the chili on?
No, that's 2 hours south.
Okay, I got to go early.
There is not too far away, actually, a Skyline Chili in Columbus.
That's it.
Yep,
that's it.
So no worries.
And by the way, Tenuta and I are making this a regular event. Last March 30th and 31st, we were in Columbus, Ohio, because and the reason why I know it is it's my birthday, and I made him take me out, and I got a Columbus Brewing beer at one of the local establishments. I made him pay for it.
Yeah, you ate 34 wings. 34 wings.
So I do know. This is a yearly event now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we've talked a little bit about Hemingway, but I'm getting equally great reviews and feedback on Lifetime. Let's talk about Lifetime, guys.
Yep. Great line. I love it.
Simple.
It's really a 2-bed line, whether it's in our like the 12 and a half gauge unit or whether it's in the roll pack unit. But we have a very good partner at BIA. He's our CFO of our company. His name's Steve Shortino. And Steve joined our company 15 months ago.
Yeah.
He was our outside CPA for like 11, 12 years. magnificent member of our team. And Stuart Carlitz and I took him on the road, and we went to visit a retailer in Pennsylvania. And what came out of that meeting was Lifetime. And we wanted to have, I call it the in-law bed. So we wanted to create a mattress that if somebody came to you, like me and my business, somebody, friends, family, hey, what bed should I get? I wanted the bed that was engineered, that basically goes out, stays out, and never have to see it again. And Stuart and I sat down and we created this bed, and we talked about having a roll pack version of it. And Stuart said, yeah, we should do that, but let's get these other two beds done. So when I wrote up the specs, I did all of them at the same time. And it was about, a month later, we had the samples in the showroom, and he came in and he says, what are these? And it were the roll pack beds. And he goes, did we do those? And I'm like, well, yeah, we did. I said, you sort of said to do them, so I did them. And everybody was laying on them and said, this is phenomenal.
And were they tufted?
And they're tufted. They're two-sided, hand-tufted roll pack beds. And they're the real deal. And
you know what I like about them, Steve?
What's that?
Okay, and I'm a mattress guy. I couldn't tell the roll pack. Mostly roll pack beds would hit the floor. I won't mention other companies. Look like roll pack beds that hit the floor.
Yeah.
These beds look like
they're different
luxury beds.
They
I could tell they were in a box.
Yep. And we have them at a retail that just screams value. Again, it's what we do best. You can get the flat pack version in a two-sided Euro pillow top. We also have it in a tight top, and then we have a firm and a plush in the roll pack variety. And I'm telling you, they're just all four beds.
Well, Lifetime's 20-year warranty, right?
Yes.
So that means anywhere in the United States at $11.99 a queen, it can drop on somebody's door a bed that looks like a $2,000 bed for $1,200, right?
Yep.
Bingo. Better value. Bingo.
And the other thing that's a little unique with them is they do have the striped cotton cover on them.
Endorsed by the largest chiropractic association in the world.
Yep.
Does help. Can be very helpful with retail consumers.
And Pete, sometimes people call these, they're designed extra heavy duty beds, or they're designed for larger statured people. To me, these are for everyone. They really aren't. I don't pigeonhole them into that category, because there's some brands out there that, they'll pitch it just for, larger frame people. These beds are good for everyone.
Well, that's why I don't like the name like heavy duty or maximum. No. Okay, you're right. They're comfortable beds.
Yep.
They're strong, comfortable beds.
And so, guys, what would you liken them to? Like in the marketplace today, or in the marketplace 20, 30, 40 years ago?
So, if you look at the spring that we're using, it's a 6-turn, 12.5 gauge, double offset. It's the tank. Years ago, it was only used in the finest beds in the industry. All of the upholstery that we're using in here is a 2-pound foam or higher. The quilting foam is even 1.8 density. We're using heavy cotton covers. BCI cotton cover. BCI means Better Cotton Initiative. And really that program means that the cotton was grown in a third world country, and the proceeds from that cover are going back to those countries for social development, which is a really nice thing, that added value. But then we take our Congress of Chiropractic Association endorsement. It has a seal of approval label on them. You have a incredibly engineered 2-sided reversible product that's hand tufted with all of that added feature and warranty. And off to the races you should go.
It's interesting what's going on. And we're not going to knock bed in the box because we supply a lot of bed in the box. But all these companies, God bless them, the Caspers, the Purples, all avocados, their average retail invoice is now $12.99 to $17.99. And Lifetime's actually a comparable, if not better product for less money. Again, better value.
So forgive me if I'm overly simple in my analysis, but it really sounds like we're building the old Stearns and Foster that was just a brick, what
right.
house.
That's right.
Back Stearns out of Ohio, that was their spring. The original heirloom called the Rip Van Winkle back in the 50s in LA, that was their spring. Schiffman in the old days before Mike Hammer, that was their spring. It was indestructible.
Yeah. So if you own a store and you want to do something really good for your consumer, offer them Lifetime and offer them Hemingway, and you're going to benefit and your customer's going to benefit, and they're going to get a better value. And what's not going to happen is you're not going to get that phone call about, a body impression or this or that, because, a lot of these manufacturers today are not using the best components that they could be using.
And
whereas,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Nor are they offering two-sided. I just did a very large sell seminar for one of our major retailers in Baltimore, Maryland, and they have an extensive line with us. But one of the things that they have on the floor is Lifetime, and we were talking, and I had one group. They shut their stores down for the entire day, and they bring them all into one location, and then we do a round robin in groups of about 10 or 15 salespeople. And the one group, one of the first groups we had was all the experienced, the old guard group. And when they came in, I told them, I said, you can show them the world. I said, but if you can't close them on that very first visit, the very last bed that you should show is Lifetime. And the one gal said, why would that be? And I said, because when they leave here, the very first thing they're going to ask when they get to the competition is, do you have any two-sided beds? And I've seen this happen firsthand with my own eyes and ears, is they walk in and they say, do you have any two-sided beds? And the salesperson at one says, no. And they don't make them anymore. And immediately, they said, well, I just saw them at the last store. I'm going back there. They told me the truth, and that gives you another chance at closing that customer.
Well, I really want to dig in on that, because I'm going to ask you, as a store owner who do not merchandise a two-sided lineup, what happens to you and your credibility when your customer shops you to find out that two-sided not only exists, but the consumer that just walked out of your store now feels like they were lied to, because your salesperson inevitably said something like this: this is the way they build mattresses. They're all one-sided now. However they coach that, however they frame that up, it doesn't matter. The minute the consumer lays on two-sided that looks and feels good, you and your store have just become liars. My question is, can you afford that?
No, you and I have a mutual friend, Jeff and Ben, that have a wonderful store in Lancaster. The majority of their SKUs now, as you know, are two-sided.
Yep.
Okay. So,
and every day they hear, I was just at a store. I thought the salesperson told me they didn't make two-sided anymore. So what happens? How do you recover Right. So understand this. How do you recover when you're not in front to defend yourself anymore? You don't. You lose the sale.
I'm going to take a step back that evolutionary scale and how two-sideds even make it to the store. I have had so many conversations with retailers over the years. Well, I don't want to put two-sideds on the floor because it's going to confuse the customer. And why is that? Because it'd be the only two-sided beds I have on the floor, and that would make all the rest of the beds obsolete, right? And I always go back to the argument, well, do all the beds that you have on your floor have latex on? Does all of the beds that on your floor have gel memory foam in them? Are all the beds on your floor pocketed coils? Well, it's just another selection avenue that you're giving to the consumer. It isn't that you are going to confuse them. I guess I give them a little bit, I give the consumer a little bit more intelligence than that. They're not going to be confused, but if you give them the choice and they bite it's you're off again. You're gonna win, and that's what we're here for.
Hey, isn't our Millbrook two-sided?
Oh yes, it is.
Oh yes, it is.
Okay, the
Beautiful
from England.
Beautiful two-sided mattresses.
Yep. And what a story.
So what do we call a person that makes decisions for other people without telling them? Well, there's lots of words. Some of them aren't very nice, but you are guilty of that as a retailer by not offering two-sided. You're making a decision for the customer without their knowledge, and you're at a competitive disadvantage. In case you haven't figured it out, newsflash, if you don't floor two-sided mattresses, you are at a competitive disadvantage. And you're getting your lunch ate and you're losing your credibility. You're spending millions and millions of dollars in advertising, and your customer, your retail salespeople are closing maybe 30% of all the consumers. So 70% are walk-in. And when they walk into somebody that has merchandise two-sided, you have just now lost all your credibility. Sorry, I can't help but beat that point.
Very good, Pete. You got me excited.
and
you got me excited.
There's another little flip on this too. Let's look at the numbers. You're also probably raising your average unit selling price by $200 by having two-sideds. And you probably took a bed that you're somewhere between a 45 and a 50 margin to 55 or more because they're harder to find, and you charge what the market will bear.
Yeah, and the reality is you need to offer choices to your customer, and when we change the customer and we don't give them credit for being adult enough to make decisions, or maybe what we're doing is we don't have confidence in our sales people to navigate between all of those SKUs. And I will be the first one to tell you that it is more difficult to navigate between more SKUs. But let me tell you, our job is to help you help your salespeople navigate between those SKUs. If I, as a rep, can't help you do that, you don't need me. Period. Sorry,
remember
Dave.
the 80s and 90s, retailers across the country used to say, shop and compare. Go shop and compare. You don't want anybody to shop and compare. You don't want anybody to leave the damn store. Okay? Close them. Don't shop and compare. Don't make them walk.
Don't give them a reason. Don't give them a reason to walk. And here's the other thing. We're talking about two-sided, and that's important. But let's talk about some of the other things that we're doing, guys. I mean, we are getting behind wool. We're getting behind cotton. These are lost stories. And these are lost benefits. And let's talk to our retailers about why they should have beds that offer these.
Yep. The wool is a huge story. The wool, from the nomads in the deserts. They wear wool as their choice fabric, and the reason is that it breathes. It wicks away moisture vapor, and then it evaporates it out, which is cooling. So even in heat, wool is cooler. All right. The other big benefit to wool is you don't have to add chemicals into a mattress to make it flame retardant. And wool is a natural flame retardant. We can meet all of the federal standards without having to put something in there from some type of chemical. We've made a huge push at BIA to become more sustainable, use better quality materials in the construction of our beds, from CertiPure certified foams to latexes to wool, even our new EcoLoft FR barrier. It's 100% natural, and that's where you got to go in today's world.
Well, latex too. These are all things, if you really want to look into the science of it, Pete, they're classified as thermologically correct components. That's a mouthful. They're thermologically correct.
Let's talk about latex.
Yeah, my favorite subject.
Hey, yeah. We're the biggest manufacturer
of towel
in the United States.
I'm going to cut you off before you get started. I'm good for that. Asking a question and cutting somebody off. Before you get started on that, let me also mention this to all my retail friends. This is something that's probably missing on your floor. Now, our friends Jeff and Ben in Lancaster, PA at Gardner's, they do not miss opportunities for two-sided. They do not miss opportunities for latex. They are probably the best, but most retailers are missing latex altogether, or they don't have enough latex. And with that, I will defer to you and let you do your thing, Steve.
So, did I tell you I was at ISPA last week?
Yes, you did. I bet you saw a little bit.
We stayed in a beautiful hotel. And there he goes. we stayed in a beautiful hotel right next to the convention center, and the bed was absolutely horrible. I mean, my shoulders hurt. I was in pain and ache, and the bottom line is that when I got to home on Saturday night, I think I got home Saturday night, 8 hours nonstop, never woke up. It was absolutely phenomenal. So Dave didn't put his phone on mute, as we can tell.
No worries. We're among a few thousand of our friends.
Yeah, these live shows, you get it all.
Yeah, you do.
But anyhow, my point is that I'm a bedding veteran. I've been on just about every style of bed under the moon. But when I get excited to get home and get on my towel mattress, it's outstanding. And what I sleep on at home is our new Green Guard Gold certified Natural Dreams two-sided mattress.
That's what you tell Lori?
I do. That's there are some other reasons I like to go home too, but she was with me in Florida, so that I didn't have to rush home to get to her. But I'm going to tell you, we talk about Green Guard Gold, the UL listing thing. That program was started, I think, around 2003, 2004, and it was really started to make children's apparel and surroundings healthy. And the program with UL just expanded, and it is now so important as a benchmark of a totally sustainable, no VOC off-gassing, higher standard. Basically, we make all of these Natural Dream beds in our harvest with all organic products, but because it's manufactured in a factory that also makes other products, polyurethane products, we cannot, call it an organic product. It wouldn't stand up. So the UL Green Guard Gold certified takes you right up to that organic standard without calling it organic. Is my understanding. So magnificent. We do them in a Euro hybrid with the latex over top of a recycled pocketed coil. Outstanding product. And then, that brings you to the Harvest, which I know is near and dear to your heart. This is not only a product that is magnificent. This gives the retailer a chance to partner with a manufacturer, and this will be at our open house there in Columbus, and it will also be on full display at High Point.
Yeah, Harvest is near and dear to my heart because it's actually the model that everybody that is interested in doing the right thing for our retailers would do. But it seems like we're alone on an island with a great product that does wonderful things for the consumer. And there's a revenue share with our retailer. If they don't buy it in the store, the retailer still wins.
Isn't that wild?
True partnership.
And I know you were beating up the retailers for not coming to look at two-sided beds. All right, I'm going to beat up the retailers right now because this is open for mainly across the United States, and we have some areas that are already taken up with Harvest, but for the most part, it's available right now to them, and it is the perfect opportunity to win both online and in the store, because this program was really designed to drive consumers to the stores to purchase. But if they don't, the retailers still win, because if we get the sale and it's going into their area, they still get the sale. And so if they don't fully understand it, we can't get into the total details of the program, but they need to come and talk to us about it and not miss that opportunity, because, like most opportunities, they only come around once. And if you get a second chance at them, you're really lucky.
I love the name Harvest.
Yeah, Harvest. I mean, how much better can a name be than what we're really doing in this bed? We're harvesting the sap from a rubber tree to make these products, and being that it was created out of the Midwest, where is the breadbasket of our country, and where the harvest comes in, right?
Isn't Aaron Rodgers on this bed?
More knowledge than I have, David.
I would defer to James on that, but so let's walk through some beds.
Okay,
Chris, can you pull up the Lifetime collect? Okay, we'll go
we
with the
Biscaynes.
Eastman House.
Yes.
Let's talk about Biscaynes a little bit.
Yeah, Biscaynes. When we were in COVID, it was rough period of time. We were, as a manufacturer, a lot of times you have 16 different beds that are similar but not the same, and every time you do a changeover, you become inefficient. And Stuart came in and he goes, I have an idea. I really want to we got to get value into the marketplace, but I want to simplify the production. I want, one bed that we can go out, have a firm, a plush, and a pillow top that we can basically push our retailers to carry, so we can increase production numbers. Because at that time, if you remember, every manufacturer was 6, 8, 9 weeks out.
Right.
So this was sort of our creation at that time. Some of the key things that we did here, which are absolutely beautiful, is, like always, we try to give it such a magnificent look at retail, so that when consumers come in, it stands off on the floors. Because if you can't do that, if you can't win in that first 5 minutes, you can explain yourself to death. But we wanted to win at that level. The second thing that we did is that we went to a spinal zone construction on this bed, which is one of our sleep technology patents. It is where we densify the quilting in the center of the mattress, which is a point and shoot feature. And what I mean by point and shoot, it's right there in front of you. You can actually see it. We put the gel memory foam in each one of these beds that reinforce those beds. And then we have our posturized in the above the spring. So we have a great system that also carries that chiropractic endorsement. And of course, all the componentry is right sourced here in the United States. And we made these as a foam encased product. We use very high density foams inside, I mean, they're gorgeous. They're comfortable. We do a really firm bed as the firm model. The soft bed is very plush, and then we have an absolutely gorgeous pillow top to go in this collection. This is what every bed aspires to be. You got the whole shooting match here. The spinal zone technology, the better spring, the foam encasement, which is our Life Edge encasement. In that, we also use our airflow insulators on the bottom, which increase air circulation throughout that bed by 28%, which you can dissipate heat out of a mattress. It stays cooler all night long.
What's the retail?
Pete.
$7.99 to $9.99 for a queen mattress. $7.99 to $9.99 for a queen mattress. Plenty of markup,
yep.
But it carries one of the proudest historical names in the industry in Eastman House since 1866, and that is not to be discounted.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we also put that American flag on each model too, which I love that. I love it too. So that's what the Biscaynes are. And now we're over at Hemingway.
Yep. I'm drooling.
One of the things that I really loved what we did, and it was actually David's idea, is, we always had Hemingway sort of out there in left field. And we wanted to validate it as a true mattress, not just a play on a brand. So Chittenden Eastman is the brand that Hemingway lies in. And C&E is the best of our Eastman House line. And, when David and I worked on the specifications, he had the idea of doing the double stack pocketed coils in this bed. He also wanted to make it more sustainable than the normal mattress that was out there. So it heavily uses wool, heavily uses towelay, cotton. We also use the recycled quantum style spring systems, edge to edge pocketed coils. We got rid of the foam out of most of every aspect of these beds. As you go down the line, you pick up some poly foam, but then it's always Pure certified.
And the new website's finally up.
Look at these beds.
HemingwayMattress.com. It's historical, it's educational, and it shows all these beautiful beds. Phenomenal website.
And I don't know if it shows on the picture. If you can go back one slide, that border is like a denim material. So you get the gray cotton striped covers, and then we accent it with that denim fabric. And even the handles we put in the denim, and the foundations are all in that denim fabric. So when it's on the floor, it has a standout look. I love that nautical look. We also, do some, we put 10 inches of steel in these beds. There's a 4-inch pocketed coil that's up in that Euro, not a micro or a nano. There's an actual 4-inch coil that's put up in that Euro top. We put wool in the covers. We put Talalay on top of the Coral Cove model. And then, I mean, the construction of these beds, they're spectacular. And then all hand tufted. Just, I mean, I laugh. I had a salesman at one of our stores in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and he said, "This is the bulletproof mattress series." And, he's pretty right.
Yeah.
What goes out stays out. And that's our motto, make it right the first time so you never have to see it again.
I cannot even wait for this. I mean, every dealer that we have brought in that has laid on these, that has looked at them, everybody has been absolutely blown away. It's just, Dave, it's a once in a lifetime deal. My hat is off to you and your team.
Well, again, it wasn't just me.
I know.
I mean, we had a lot of people involved. Okay.
One of the early on tell-alls is we have a big showroom here in our factory in New Jersey, and we had two major retailers, that came in to look at something. We were just playing around with the specs at that point in time, and we had them in the front room. And so you had to walk through the front room to get into the main showroom where we had their beds on display. And these were product meetings that were very specific. They were there to look at what we had created for them. And they walked through the Hemingway showroom, the little front room, and they walked into the back. And they didn't want to see their stuff. They wanted to go back to the front room. And it didn't happen once, but it happened twice. And then we sat there and said, we got to expand on this,
Yeah.
And it's just outstanding, just absolutely outstanding.
It's an interesting thing, Dave, that, when you create something, you think it's good, but until it's validated with other people, you're not 100% sure. And then there becomes this thing where the input and the feedback is overwhelmingly positive, and then you just start to become very thankful and very humble, and so glad that you listened to what Steve told you to do on XYZ model. And you kind of go through your head and you go, wow, we did it. This is like amazing. And it kind of takes on this own life of its own. That's where Hemingway is, and I think that's where Lifetime is.
Well, I knew one thing though. We have a team of people here. We have Matt Conley, our senior VP, our VP,
who's
here,
never wrong, by the way.
Mark?
Never wrong.
Matt's never wrong.
We have the owner, Mr. Carlitz. We had our other
Stu's
people.
actually never wrong.
Well, you're right on that. You're absolutely right on that. But what Stuart does is he has a lot of faith in us. He challenges us. Sometimes he'll ask things that we don't think is possible, but then we'll keep working on it, creating it, and and that's exactly what you want from ownership. This is a fun place to be. We talk about it often. We have assembled an absolutely phenomenal show. We refer to us as opera and ballet. It's opera and ballet.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or the Bell and the Hammer when we're out in the field, But and then we have Mark Dentali here with us. We have Steve, Mike Campbell, who is also a huge asset to everything we do.
Everybody got excited about it.
And then Greg Tanis, who is production. So it's always production versus sales. But Greg and his team out in that plant, what they put together is absolutely over the top samples. I know we put them through the ringer too many times at the last minute, but I do want to give a special call out to our production team. There's not a finer one in the country, I promise you. And that goes to all three factories too. We have Mike Mulligan out in California, and we have Zach out in Chicago. So what a great team again, that Stewart's assembled. And not to mention his two sons that just joined the business too.
Very
Jared
impressed.
Out in California, and Phil. I mean, I always tease that we need some younger guys. 120 years in this chat box, right? And it is so refreshing to see young executives in their 30s that get it, that are super smart. And again, they give us drive. They did a beautiful presentation. I think you were there at Vegas when they stood up and gave the vision for the company. And man, I want to tell you, I want to be part of it. I just wish I was 10 years younger.
That goes without saying.
This is a good ride.
We could be their bodyguards.
Yeah, maybe, huh?
One of the things that's so refreshing about Jared and Phil is they listen.
Yes, they do.
They care.
Deeply.
And they are absolutely brilliant. The feedback and the insightful questions that they ask, and it's just amazing. And I saw something posted on LinkedIn, and I said to Stu on LinkedIn, you should be very proud of these boys. They are fabulous. They really are.
Phil is going to join us at the open house in Columbus, and
Phil
then
be there.
I think I'm not sure, but I think Jared and Phil will be coming through at High Point also.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So let's talk about High Point a little bit more. So you're in the Crown Mark building, and that's on East Green, right?
200 East Green. It's at the corner of Green and Wren. A lot of people know the streets. Yep.
And that's Wren with a W.
W-R-E-N.
And
fourth floor.
Which floor are you guys on again?
We're on the fourth floor. Easy for you, or maybe not for you, but for a lot of people to find because we're right next to the bar.
40 models to choose from.
Yes.
In High Point. All the good things that we talked about here. Harvest, Lifetime, Hemingway, Tellaway Dreams, Millbrook, and more.
Velika, the new Velika will be there.
Yes,
and that stuff we had it at ISPA, crowd pleaser. And we'll also have all the Millbrook there in its entirety, which is super excited. We also are going to have a great showing of wellness, which I love wellness.
That's the Eclipse program.
Yes, that's in the Eclipse program. So, so we have the New Yorkers will be there, the Manhattan series, and then we will have the promotional goods there in the from all price points from the beginning. So we have a full show.
Beautiful beds, great people. What are you waiting for? If you're not going to High Point, come to Columbus to our open house. My cell is 419-560-3169. Dave and Steve will be there to help me because we're going to be overwhelmed at this open house. And then we're going to drive down to High Point, and we're going to see everybody at High Point. So, question I've been getting, how many beds are you going to show at the open house? We don't want to come if there's like 10 beds. Guys, we don't have 10 beds at the open house. I think it's 31, 32, something like that. Over 30 beds at the open house and 40 beds in High Point. And guys, as Dave made a great point, you don't need a lot of beds. You need great beds that deliver a unique experience, unique features and benefits that are visually appealing to your customer, that feel great, and that help you serve your customer better and add a new dimension to your store so that instead of shopping your competitors, they stop, plant their feet, and buy at your store instead of shopping, going somewhere for a harvest or an organic or a latex bed. You don't have to let that walk out of your store anymore. What am I missing,
Well said.
guys? What am I missing?
Food. We have good food at High Point.
We'll have
We
food.
the best
We'll have food. We will have food. And those of you who are coming to the open house, Jenny's famous brownies will be there, and you will walk away with Jenny's brownies in your gift bag.
Are you
And,
Jenny? Are you related to a Jenny?
My Swedish wife. You had a
there.
Russian
All
wife.
right,
I
all
have
right.
a Swedish wife.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much. This has been a blast. I could go for another hour, but we got to run. And I am so looking forward to seeing you 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Right.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Peter.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys. Hey,
Bye-bye.
anybody that's not in the immediate area, not going to High Point, they want to get a hold of Steve, or they want to get a hold of the infamous creator of Hemingway, David Tenuta. How do they get a hold of you guys? What's the best way?
Call me on my cell phone. That's the easiest. It's 717-554-5370.
Okay.
919-414-5535.
All right. There you go.
Awesome.
How many times in your life have you gotten a executive's cell phone number to call? That's part of the personal touch that a lot of companies are missing, and that we at Benton Industries of America, being a family-owned company, it's who we are and what we're all about.
That's right.
I still, when I'm at meetings and the salesperson, the sales rep hands them their card, I said, give them my phone number too, because if you can't get a hold of him, call me, because if you miss a sale, so do we.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Sell a million. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.